Hey everyone, this is Angela from Bake It With Love, and today we're making some gorgeous fondant ribbon roses. They're easy to make. I'm doing these freehand. There is a template type cutter that you can find on Amazon that does the same sort of gist that we'll get to here in a minute. This is just one that I'm snipping. It's partially dried, and I like to do my ribbon roses on toothpicks and then snip the bottom half off so that I have a nice even bottom to place on my cakes. So that was a preview of what we're doing. Here comes the real thing. We're gonna roll this out and walk all the way through it. I'm going for kind of a long oblong shape here when I roll it out. Really long oval, because I want to be able to cut about 6 to 8 inches of kind of a double-sided rose petals. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like that. So you've got the rounded on one side. We're gonna start with the rounds here. And then on the other side, when I cut those, I'm gonna try and make it off center so that they're not layered right on top of each other, but it doesn't always work out that way when I'm doing this freehand. And that is our new set of Wusthof knives. And if you know me, you know that I'm accident prone. And so watching me do this, my husband's absolutely terrified. He went in the other room. I'm not kidding. I'm so accidental prone that, like, yesterday I said something over my shoulder. I was getting ready to go down the stairs. Fell down. That's me, not graceful. And I'm dangerous with knives. I'm a food blogger, and he usually does all the food prep. If it comes to slicing anything with knives, he's in the kitchen for me. So he's a good guy. But I'm definitely scaring him today when I was doing this. He hates when I do this freehand like that. But as you can see, I'm just whittling away at the sides here. And when I remove my excess fondant, I like to go along a little bit more with a knife, and if I have any little jagged spots, I don't want those on what's going to be the petals of my roses, so I kind of smooth those out too as I go. And this is the little end of my fondant roller that I'm using to press out. I'm just trying to make it really thin. That's what I'm working on. And if you start in the center and work out towards the edges, your edges of your rose petals will be nice and thin. So you can see I've got another one of the little fondant tools sitting off to the side, and when I get to that point, I'll be using that to make my fondant little ribbon rose even thinner. Now, if you were with me when I was talking about coloring my fondant, you know that this fondant is actually 50% fondant and 50% gum paste, both of which you can get in the specialty kind of party section of Walmart, or I think Hobby Lobby has most of this stuff too. I don't know if they have the actual fondant. I can't remember because I was just there getting tips, but I wasn't looking for fondant, so don't remember. And of course, each store has their own thing, so you know, if all else fails, Walmart should have it. If not, there's always Amazon, and you can get everything you need, or you can make your fondant with our recipe, and I'll link that down below and above, maybe too. So anyway, it takes a while. I'm sorry I'm actually showing all this because I want you to realize that it took a certain amount of patience. Not as much patience as my petal roses, which I'll show next. The ribbon roses are much faster, but I do, I prefer the petal roses, especially for my centerpieces of like my rose cake that I'm making here, that I'm using all this stuff for, which we will see in a few days. I'll get that uploaded and make it all its own playlist, everything that I did to go into that cake. So stay tuned, you'll enjoy it. And here we go. I'm using the smaller fondant tool to really make sure that that fondant ribbon that I'm doing is nice and thin. And the more that you work out towards the edges, you want to start in the center, push out towards the edges, and then when you go along the edges here, you see what I'm doing like that. You want to be about 50% on the fondant, 50% on your wax paper or your fondant foam, and that little edge will start to curl up and ruffle naturally, which is what you're looking for. You can see a few of my little ruffles there. So now I went with some water and I wet down the center just a little bit. I doubled over my fondant ribbon, and I'm going along here with my fondant tool again to kind of thin the center so that when I'm wrapping it around the stem of my toothpick, I don't end up with a big glob. Most of my stuff will be pushing outward, and that's what I'm looking for. Now I have my little centerpiece of my rose here. This is fondant as well that I shaped and put onto a toothpick earlier, and I'll show that in the petal rose because I made all those with that one. But it's just dried. It's been drying overnight, and I just put a little bit of water on that as well as the base of my fondant ribbon that's been doubled over, and I'm just rolling it around the stem piece now. And you better believe there's a whole lot of excess down at the bottom there. But we're gonna snip it off when I'm ready to use these, so I don't worry about it. I just twist and seal it off. When you've got it all sealed, you can go along with your fingertips, or as I'll show in the next little snippet of my next ribbon rose, I also use the back end of my little paintbrush. Here we go. This fondant rose has been drying for quite a while. It's semi-dry. It's not completely dry, but I've already turned out some of the petals, and I'm going to go along with my paintbrush right now with the butt end of it, like you saw in the beginning, just finishing to push out some of those petals. So I hope that you liked the video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. We have a lot of great stuff coming. If you're into cake decorating, if you just love food, we're here for you. We got it all coming. Lots of uploads, daily uploads right now. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for being here with us, and we will see you again next time.